excellent album. We learned a lot from it.
Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. So today is episode 2 of the most overlooked albums. And for me, this is an album that when it came out was really successful. And now it's kind of just brushed off for one hit. And most people don't know the rest of them. And that album is, of course, if you saw the introduction, ELO's Discovery album. Now, the album came out in 1979, has a very disco feel to a lot of the songs. You can hear a lot of Chic influence and just what was going on the radio that day. In fact, the keyboard player, Richard Tandy, had penned the album Disco Very, which is very clever and funny. And a lot of people refer to the album as Disco Very. I think it was a great album. We got this record when it first came out, and it was an album that we all liked. Don't Bring Me Down is the hit, but let's go song by song and just see what it was. This album had 5 big hits off of it, and I think it's an overlooked album. Is this ELO's best album? No. In my opinion, I think their best album is probably 1976's A New World Record. And that's mainly because every song from Tightrope all the way down to Shangri-La at the end, throwing in, of course, Living Thing, Do Ya, and Telephone Line, that record's great. It's just a great record. Every song is fantastic. It was like the first album for them where it was just every song was great. Some of the earlier albums of them were hit and misses. Face the Music the year before wasn't that great. It was okay. So I think A New World Record was their first great album, and also I think it's their best. The next album after that was Out of the Blue, which is a double album, and it's also phenomenal. There's a few songs I like better than others, obviously, but it's a great record. It's a little long for my taste, and some of the songs, I think they're good, they're just not great. So I can't call it a better album than A New World Record to me, although I know it's some people's favorite ELO album, and I'm not here to argue that. What I am here to talk about is Discovery, and that it is an overlooked album, and it should be, some of these songs should be looked at and enjoyed. Let's start with the record. The record opens with a song which was a single of theirs called Shine a Little Love. And very disco feeling, but a great, great song. Classic ELO sound, and it was just a big smash. And to this day, I still love the song. Also, one other thing I just want to point out about the album Discovery, the actor Brad Garrett, comedian from Everybody Loves Raymond, he is on the back dressed in the Arab garb, trying to look menacing. And here's a picture of that right here. Song 2 on this album is another classic song called Confusion. Not a big hit on the record, but it's still a good song. It's fun, it's your typical ELO, great melodies, Beatlesque, everything you love about ELO is in Confusion. The third song, On Certain Days, is my favorite song on the record. It's called Need Her Love, and it's just a beautiful ballad. I think it goes a little long. The last verse is unnecessary, but as a little ditty, if somebody were to redo this song and basically just shorten it to everything but the last verse, I think there'd be a smash hit. It's a great song. Typical ELO/Reinhold Mack production. Just great. The fourth song on this album is also another favorite of mine. It's called The Diary of Horace Wimp. This is a mixture of Beatles, McCartney-style Beatles, and the Bee Gees, and just ELO all thrown and tumbled together. It's a great song, nice story. Again, it was a hit at the time it came out. I loved it when it came out. When this album came out, we got it. We all knew Don't Bring Me Down, and instantly it became my least favorite song on the record. The Diary of Horace Wimp probably became my instant first love on this album. The next song is another disco-y type of feel where they borrowed some stuff from disco. Last Train to London, a great song. I highly recommend people listening to this song. I think you'll enjoy it. It's typical ELO again, where it's just strong melody, strong chorus, and fun. The next song after that is a ballady, Midnight Blue, which is okay. It may be one of my least favorite on the record, but it's still a good song. I will say it's a good song, and you can find an album where you have one or two good songs and the rest are great. You've got a great album. This is why I think this album is overlooked, because there's not many bad on it, and the ones that I think are less than the others are good. Anyways, Midnight Blue would be the next song. Song after Midnight Blue is On the Run. On the Run is a fun song. It reminds me a lot of the stuff that's going on Out of the Blue. It's a typical type of Out of the Blue track. It's fun. It's great. It's ELO at its best. It's a great song. The next song, Wishing, is a great song as well. Right back into it's the type of song when you hear it, you're going to be like, how is this not a hit? It's a great song. This album has a flow, and the flow of this album is, it's just, everything is good. It makes sense. The album is great. You got to give it a listen. But Wishing has that, again, it's that ELO sound, that Beatlesque. It's nice. The last song on the record is Don't Bring Me Down. Everybody knows the song. I am not a fan. I think it's the worst song on the album. And still, as far as worst songs on the album go, it's all right. It's not a bad song. It's just not my favorite. And as far as ELO, I really can't think of many songs I like out of their whole catalog less than Don't Bring Me Down. But I don't know if it was because it was overplayed when it first came out, or I just think it's crap. Either way, it's just not my favorite song. But I think this album is completely underrated. It's overlooked by many. Discovery should be up there in talks with great albums. And I hope you give it a listen. Give it a listen. In the comments, let me know what you think, what your favorite track is, what's your least favorite track on the album. And I'd love to discuss it more. As always, very good.